Hello, 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 and welcome to Series None 69. 96 Series None, Episode 46. I'm the dude, the guy, the lad, the fellow, the frogger, and the motherfucker. Sanctification on Twitch, Scum God on YouTube, and your host for this very early morning stream. Like every stream, basically. It is what it is. I'm feeling pretty good right now, I'm feeling pretty alright. My mood is about to be ruined by this lady right here. This one. This not this lady. This lady? She's okay. She's pretty cool. But the lady behind her, this nefarious individual, Skirus Lupa, literally cursing me and my people, my kin, by making me watch by making me read this. I'm suffering. I'm suffering. Which is why this might be a part one stream, because if not, I won't be able to make it. Because I will also be drinking. Because let me just get this out of the way. I've been doing a lot of channel awesome stuff over the course of this series, ramping up more right now more than ever. And I figured I might as well address kind of why, which is that despite all those happy people in those previous films, things did fall apart, and I might as well go over why and how they fell apart. Now, of course, I could read this document, the abridged version, right? The condensed version, which is 6 pages. 6 pages, but here's the thing. This one? This one's 73 pages. Now, I'll be honest with you, at least 17 of those pages are due to this woman, Obscurus Lupa, who has put a curse upon me, knowing what I desire in this life, to go over everything. And it's left me with 17 pages to cover. She starts at page 5 and goes to page 23. I would give up. I would quit. Like, Mars Girl tried with like 7 pages, but Lupa went for fucking 17, so I fucking guess. And like Linkara tried a little bit too, went for 5, but he couldn't do it either. And here's the thing, when I read it, it's like it's not that bad. But then you realize, oh wait, it's 17 pages of point form notes. And it's horrifying. It's like you start an article and you're like, oh, this is a pretty easy read. But then you get into it and it's like, wow, that's rough. So let's just fucking hop into it right now, I don't have time to dilly or to dally, so I'm gonna silly alley, scally. I'm gonna scally. I hate the taste of alcohol, just in general. But here we have some. You can't read that. Some Gekeikan sake in this green bottle, so you can't see it. This bottle of mystery fluid. It's like a fucking airhead. It's cheap as fuck, and it's 1.5 liters, so it's pretty sweet. It'll fuck me up, alright? So that's pretty cool. Not so awesome. A record of events, but we're working with that guy with the glasses. There are many different grievances that need to be shared, but the following points are what we feel are the most grievous and should be known by the public among all others. This is for record/organization, and to help clarify and inform, this is not about defamation or destruction, but about clearing the air and correcting misconceptions. Forward. Thank you for taking the time to read the contents of this document. Yeah, you're welcome. Within its many pages are lengthy stories, yeah, they are, from a number of contributors airing their grievances about the way they and others were handled by working professionally with Channel Awesome and the management, namely Mike Michaud, Doug Walker, and Rob Walker. Although the descriptions are vast, this very likely does not cover every possible story of mismanagement over the course of the last 10 years. There are other content creators, both those who were previously partnered with Channel Awesome and those who continue to be partnered with Channel Awesome, who have not contributed their stories to the document, though many of their stories can be found in other places if you look hard enough. Blah 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 blah. There are numerous reasons why any of us would want to share these stories with you. The biggest one is simply a strong common belief that the public deserves the right to know about the dealings within this company. When much of this finally becoming in the middle of March 2018, many people wanted answers to many different questions. And while it seemed like our Twitter feeds were containing all of these answers, Twitter is not an especially easy to read format, especially in branches and splinters when new people join the conversation. The number one reason to create this document was to give, okay, I'm not going to waste my fucking time. One goal, many contributors. I can't. I've been pre-drinking. I've wet my whistle. Many contributors share is the hope that Channel Awesome will both acknowledge and apologize for their behaviors, both on a public and personal level with the former and current producers. However, we do not necessarily expect that apology. As nice as that may be, perhaps the best we can hope for is acknowledgement of any sort, good or bad. If that's not possible, then certainly we all hope that by telling our stories, we are able to protect other innocent people from having to experience anything like this in the future, whether that may be in the form of a contributor or a fan. None of us want anyone else to go through the kind of treatment we went through over 10 long years. Some behavior being much worse than others, okay. As a personal note, I do not regret speaking about any about things I witnessed any sooner than I did. Perhaps now is too little too late. But if we can help you make heads or tails of this now today, then of this now, I thought it was like an analogy, like now today then, would be kind of cool. Any heads or tails of any of this now today, then maybe the time is right for us to do the right thing and tell you that what we've been through. Thank you for taking the time to read our stories about our times at Channel Awesome and the management of Mike, Doug, and Rob. We wish all of you nothing but the best, and to use our pages to reach your own logical conclusions for yourselves. Kaylin Saucedo, or Saucedo. Saucedo's it's a good rap name. It's like Slimecedo and Saucewalker. Marsville, April 2nd, 2018. Contents. I do like how some of these people are just like not known. Like who the fuck is Beth Elderkin? That's such a scary name. Elderkin? Holy shit. Epic fail? You didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. Hey, Chaos D1. Hey, Benzai. Hey, Jesse Otaku. Hey, Suede. It's the guy. And America, you didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. Hey, it's Lindsay Ellis, Nostalgia Chick. You know what? Fuck it. Nostalgia Chick. I think Lindsay wrote like a book or something. Like, yeah, it's like self-published through Amazon or whatever, but it's still a book of shit that I heard is at least it's not full of mistakes or stuff. It looks pretty alright. Motherfucker published a book, and even her entry is like 2 pages. Fucking Anonymouses went for 1 page each. Iron Liz, who I'm pretty sure Iron Liz was just like Linkara's friend, got like what 5 in there? Nah, that's like 4. But still, fan document less than half page. Jesus. I don't even know who Leslie Rice is. Jesus. Alright. This is why it might be the first part, but it might not be. I want to get at least halfway through the 73 fucking goddamn it. I keep it's such a big number. Alright. I'm not clout chasing. I'm cloud chasing. It's been like what 4 years? I can do this now. We were not employed by Channel Awesome. Channel Awesome simply embeds videos on their site. Outside of anniversary movies, no contracts were involved. The only people paid are the people involved with the Chicago crew. The biggest of their numerous problems is Mike Michaud, the site CEO. There were two other CEOs when they started. Mike Ellis, hey Bargov, and Bargov Dronamaju, both of whom are no longer with the site. The name Greg occasionally appears in this document. This is Mike Michaud's brother, who handles the scheduling of producer videos. Mike owns the IP to the Nostalgia Credit character and is a majority shareholder in the company. On two separate occasions, women were confronted angrily by either Mike Ellis or Mike Michaud, being blamed for being blamed for something a guy they knew did. One of these instances involved in the producer leaving. See Lindsay Ellis section. Just a tweet. He once bitched me out because Lee went over his head once when he sent him an email and copied Mike on it. Yes, he complained about it to me about someone else going over his head. I think I might have to. I think I might still have that email somewhere. I'm gonna have to think so hard with this. I might as well force myself to. It's like 2 hours of stuttering. So that's pretty cool. Well, after that happened, I was delete a Skype message he will no doubt be unpleased with. 2 out of 2. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this information? Did he think that? Did he think? Did he think I was annoyed by Lee as he was, and I was going to communicate with him over it? Like that was so much TMI. Found it. This irritated me, considering that Michaud and I had no other issues like this with any other producers, and it was definitely not cool that Lee had emailed Michaud over talking with me. Did the thing I wouldn't find out about? Did he think I wouldn't find out about that? All right. In case it hadn't made clear enough already, communication was terrible, and Lee wanted to make sure that his email was seen by one of the higher ups. But Ellis acted like copying Michaud on the email was an act of betrayal of some kind, which is weird. Frequently, if a guy spoke up, it was ignored. If a woman spoke up, they were labeled troublemakers. Mike would frequently try to bully them. Most of the women felt very uncomfortable talking to him. It was a repeating pattern that he would be more aggressive towards someone speaking up if they were a woman. At least 3 of us were kicked off the site for that very reason. When male producers did the same thing, were still on the site. More details in Sean and Holly's sections, but the channel also was aware of harassment by Mike Ellis for at least 2 years and did nothing. Holy shit. When he was finally let go, it was for other legal reasons. They were also aware of a prominent producer who was grooming female fans and coercing them into sex and failed to take action for years. So I think, that's the dead guy, Juario. All communication was done via a Skype group chat with all the producers. We did not communicate through email, and Michaud would disappear for long periods of time. No one wanted to talk to us. The people we were told to talk to were Michaud, Rob, and Holly, HR. When Holly was fired, it was just those two. Mike was so against being involved with or doing anything that he eventually became the silent CEO, which meant it was just Rob, who also didn't want the job. Anytime we came to him with complaints, he would call us children behind our backs. How do you know that? Doug is not considered anything but talent, yet frequently is part of business calls and the like, including ones highlighted here. He is also occasionally part of company decisions. He is more involved with business than he likes to let on, and is also involved as a human being and face the company. I mean, that makes sense. Fair enough. They were so unaware of anything going on with the site that Rob thought someone asking for an interview was a producer. Oh. Communication was the worst. They would never tell us anything. It was like pulling teeth to get answers from anyone. Frequently, we find out things after the fact and have to come to them to find out what was happening. Blister the Thumbs producers were never told the site was shutting down. Holy shit, they just got fucking. They found out when they saw the announcement on the front page. Several producers were let go without being informed. That's fucked. That's terrible. Nice network assholes. When I joined the site, I was given a list of rules to follow. Mostly common sense things like don't post hate speech, etc. The section saying where to find the company policy was labeled coming soon. That is. I would just not join the site. Owing to later missing videos must be reported to Holly Brown by 5 p.m. before their due date. I guess. For company policy, all company policies laid out in this link. Coming soon. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet and cool. I guess. Sure. Any consensus of the company can be addressed to Holly Brown, Robert Walker, or in emergency situations, the guy who owns the main dude, Mike Michaud. At a later point in time, when I'm creating raw reviews, I'm randomly told I need to ask permission to do new shows. They had a rule in place for events such as filming a new show with your friend as a host, for example, but not anything like I was doing. So I asked Rob for permission, and he seems to have no idea why I'm asking. Years later, Phelan is astounded to find out this list exists because no one who came onto the site before me got these rules or were told about them. The rules are arbitrarily enforced, and usually, if they want an excuse to get rid of someone anyway, or and usually, oh, and usually if they want an excuse to get rid of someone anyway. At one point, they sent reprimand to Welshie that was meant for Sad Panda because they couldn't tell the difference between them. Holy shit! He would have okay. Phelan received a reprimand for tweeting a joke making fun of the demo reel twist, by saying he was gonna reveal Phelan was Sub-Zero the whole time, and was told to apologize to Doug personally. Sure. Doug knew nothing tech-wise to the point of endless frustration. He didn't know how to record commentaries. He would just have people in Chicago sit close to the camera and record it on the onboard mic. When we had to record the Moulin Rouge commentary over Skype, he asked me to sit in and record it. I was not part of the Moulin Rouge crossover. He just wanted me to repress record and sit there. Phelan called him out and explained step by step how to use the MP3 Skype recorder, which requires a simple press of a button to use. He ended up calling Nash and having him record it. There's no way I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true. I actually don't believe that. That sounds like a lie to me. It's really funny, but I think it's just going a bit too far. He might have asked her, but I don't think it's because he didn't know. You know what I mean? I feel like it was like she just wanted her to make sure nothing was going wrong, I guess. I don't know. That sounds really bit skiffy, bit skiffy. During my earlier days on the site, we would have fights. We would have to fight to get slots for the day, but especially during the holidays. Doug proceeds to hog the slots with lazy Disney December vlogs. Calling them lazy is kind of true, but they consider conventions a waste of time, despite the contradictory belief that they should do all their advertising locally. They hated that we went to MagFest because because of a bad experience Doug had there once. Despite the fact that we all paid to go there on our own dimes, they never wanted to pay anyone. I do believe that. One of the DVDs they held a cover contest for fans where they asked for Drew Struzan style artwork for $100 plus a link to their DeviantArt on the cover. They were shamed into upping the price to $300. Skits did the soundtracks for the anniversary movies for next to nothing. And Michonne was furious when he tried selling the music because he was under the belief that it belonged to them. Holy shit. Every decision felt unmotivated and uncaring towards our producers. It was a Doug show. Well, kind of was, wasn't it? And that's not exactly a positive or a negative. Like, let's not act like Doug did start this shit. I think Doug still starts this shit. I think let me do some petty points here. Instead, is there a channel for it? Or is it just Channel Awesome? It is just Channel Awesome. 1.28 million. You can't organize our lowest views, but you can whatever. Most recent. I mean, 2 Nostalgia Critic episodes, which is pretty sweet. Both over 100K. It's not amazing per the subscribers, but that's how YouTube works with for like older channels. And Disney December, that's his lowest in a month, let's say. Okay, no, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. No, Who's Grand Adventure? No, the small one. No, Merry Christmas. Okay, I'm not gonna count that one. It's a 4-minute video. So I'm gonna count. No, 54K, 45K. Okay, that's a short. No, it's all right. All right, so 45K is his Yeah, it's his monthly low. Now I don't want to. I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be petty. I'm not gonna be petty. Obscurus? Obscurus. I'm not gonna be petty. I'm not gonna count subs, but I'm just gonna say it. I mean, even his lowest is, I think, beating her monthly highest. Oh wait, no, she doesn't do stuff at all. Fair enough, I guess. I know Lindsay quit. I don't, and I would say Cinema Snob, but Cinema Snob isn't on this because I guess, he doesn't want to abandon his buddy Doug, right? And he's chilling there with fucking 10K 9 hours ago. Fair enough. Still on Gremlin Productions.
Wait, the holiday season.
Like some of these they're pretty fucking rough, Brad. But you know what? He's not on this shit. And when I think about it, how is Linkara doing? Because I think Linkara's channel is kind of booty too. Like when I think of the schmuck heads, it's like I don't want to see this dude doing a Nuzlocke. I don't give a fuck. Nuzlocks are lame. But let's see his weekly highest. 32K so far, 57K, 57K. And that was his monthly highest. 57K, which is higher than Doug's monthly highest, but Doug puts out more content, so it kind of balances out. And to be an asshole about it, he's done. I think he's legit. Yeah, he's done no 3 of his main things so far. So like I'm thinking about the Mount Rushmore, the Hokage carving, the Hokage rock carvings. Hey, Ultimate Power, that was something. But yeah, the Hokage rock carvings of Channel Awesome, and I mean, yeah, Lindsay had it, but Lindsay fucking died, and Lindsay's gone. Lindsay's out of here. Lindsay left. Lindsay did video reviews, and she dipped. These do seem like some pretty fun video essays, though. That's pretty cool, yeah. But like, yeah, she died. She left. She's out of the internet. I feel like I know Lauren Chen. What the fuck did Lauren Chen
Hey,
do?
hey.
I don't want to know what Lauren Chen does anymore. Actually, did you say no malarkia? But, okay. Secretly indoctrinating children? Say it. Ah, students. Okay, I think I know what Lauren Chen does. Karen's use of hysteria as a virtue signal. Gen Z pronouns madness. And then okay, I know exactly what Lauren Chen does. She's a person who's on Twitter sometimes. Ontario, damn it. Our Bath and Body product, damn it. What the fuck is Rumble? Bitch, you. Odyssey? Jesus, how many subscribers? If it was a million, I'd be less trusting. I'll tell you that much. If it was a million, I'd be a lot less trusting. Ethan Klein blasts Joe Rogan as uninformed hypocrite. Ethan Klein, Joe Rogan Twitter? Yeah. What the fuck is. Okay. Yeah, I know exactly what Lauren Chen does, and I don't like it. She's a person on Twitter who sometimes makes a really fucking stupid tweet, and then gets quote retweeted all over the website for a little bit. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming to me now. It's definitely coming to me now. I don't want to know what Lauren Chen does, but I do want to know what Brad Jones does. I love this dude. That's my guy. All right, back to the main attraction. Wolfpack is back, causing mass destruction. I better do the pop quiz hotshot / Indiegogo. August 2013, CA uses Indiegogo to crowdfund 90K for their pop culture game show. Retro pop culture challenge, later pop quiz hotshot. A comic review show? Oh, Jesus. And another game show rollout on video games, The Gaming Gauntlet. 40 something episodes of Promise of Pop Quiz Hotshot. Jesus Christ. Can I do that? Can I? If I got funding, if someone was like, hey, we want to buy Series None and we want you as the host, or at least as like a co writer, I'm willing to have this be. I want this to be lost media. I had a thought about it. I was washing the dishes. I was crying about my lack of childhood and how it's been taken away from me by the internet. And I've been thinking, if someone was like, we want Series None to continue, and we want you as a side host because we know you can't fucking talk properly. We want you, Scum God, to be our host for the Series None full season. It's like in 20 years, someone like finds this shit in the backyard of the internet, and it's like, this is amazing. This is just some dude getting 2 views for every video, and he keeps making them all to get to 69. It's insane. We've seen this man change. That's what I want. And I would take 90K for it too. I don't need that much. But that is so. 2013 was different. It was very different. CA films at least a dozen versions of the pilot and test episodes. Some of them include the question / contestant. Oh, some of them. The refilming is due to the studio not being sound dampened. Because of this, they film Nostalgia Critic episodes in the office where it's smaller and there's less echo. They tried to rig the question so the contestant would win, but accidentally switched the cards so it went in Doug's favor. Doug splits the prize? What? Oh, okay. $100 gift card. They had to be told the prize. They had to be told to have prizes by Holly. Oh, the game shows Michelle's idea. No one else wanted to do it. The Indiegogo rewards are 6 months late. Okay. March 2015. A year and a half since the show was promised. After Indiegogo threatens to investigate, Michaud forces Doug and Rob to release the first episode of Pop Quiz Hotshot, which they are all embarrassed about. Well, I thought it was just a thing they did once and it didn't work out. I didn't know had a lore to it. No, shut up. Shut up, Ralph. Shut up, asshole. I can do that all in one sitting, maybe. Possibly. At least 2 sittings. I most definitely can. Hi. Thank you for sharing your concern with us. At this time, the campaign Channel Awesome New Shows and More is under review to ensure that it adheres to our terms of use. So what happens now? We will include the information you provide along with information at our disposal and review the campaign. In some cases, we'll contact the campaign in order to have them edit the campaign and have it remain on the platform. If the product doesn't follow our rules, we may review the campaign, or we also list the campaign owner's future activities on Indiegogo. Protect our users' privacy. We're unable to share the action we take. At Indiegogo, we take the trust and safety of our community very seriously, and we greatly appreciate your patience and understanding throughout the review process. To learn more about Indiegogo's trust and safety effort, please visit indiegogo.com/trust. Please note that you should not need to contact us again. Doing so will create a new ticket and prolong the process. Thank you again for having time to get in touch with us and keep the Indiegogo safe for the back home. Regards, Derek. After 12 episodes, the show is canceled because that legally covers them as an effort to fulfill their Indiegogo goals. Awesome Cause begins production using the old game show set in March 2016 and ends March 2017. Now, I do believe this because this sounds very up the alley of crowd-funded internet projects by people who don't have the know-how or actual ability to make good crowd-funded internet projects. I do believe that one 'cause I'm an asshole. The anniversaries. Oh boy. Channel Awesome paid for travel slash lodge and meals when they were during filming hours. Otherwise, we were on our own. They had to be told to have water on set. We were not paid for our time. Nor did we make any revenue from the DVDs. Oh wow, they got Product 7, but worse. Actually, no, I think Phil probably had water on his set, and he had like a running tap going on. They got Project 7 though. They got Rambo'd. I got my percentage. We were paid an exposure and a free trip with our friends. We pointed out that exposure didn't mean anything after the first time. We were told we didn't have to go with them. Mike in particular liked to stay how great that they embedded, not hosted our videos, and never asked for a cut of our revenue. Traffic on that guy at the Glass Slash channel awesome gave them ad revenue, so it'd be yeah okay, duh. This was the only thing they asked to sign contracts for, which covered such things as injury, liability, etc. Oh, injury liability. Okay, I have a comment for no reason. The contract also stated that any crossovers we filmed during the production would go to them to help recoup costs. So we were asked to work for the privilege to be there? Oh, wow. Which not only went into what little time we had between filming the rest, but also into our work hours and at home editing. Oh, editing? They edited them too? Oh, shit. And the anniversaries themselves took time of our normal. That is. And I want to say probably no one left because they didn't have because kind of once you leave the sphere of being able to do crossovers with them, you really have nothing else left. That is goofy. Doug's style of directing is to tell us what to do is to tell us what to do to and is to tell us to do it more like him. That's horrible. If we point out we didn't deliver a line like that, he'd tell us we'll try it both ways so we can use the take of us doing it his way. We'll try it both ways became a running joke. It was embarrassing when we were filming in the park, and and Doug would start giving directions to a passerby like they were part of the production. I don't. I think he might have did that, but it was probably a joke. You know what I mean? As it was done with Kikassia, they would only have one camera with Rob at the helm. Yeah, that's fair. This is a larger production with two teams, so Lindsay and Ed would have a closed door meeting with them to convince them to use more than one camera. They borrowed Todd's, it was the same model, and one of my SD cards. Ed, who was there to play a cloak, is recruited to a cameraman, and Liz, Lewis's guest, is asked to play a cloak. Because of this, she never signed a contract. When filming a stunt in Orlando, her knee is bashed in. In Orlando? Okay, yeah, fair enough. They coerce her into signing a contract that says they aren't liable. She doesn't want to because it would give them ownership of wherever she filmed there. Oh, wow. Four total people were injured during the movie, and no safety precautions were ever put in place. Liz and Bennett were both hurt doing stunts with Orlando. Oh, with Orlando. Okay. And Orlando himself landed on his neck wrong. This was included in the blooper reel. Lisa was taped to a wall in a cross position because she was there for so long she nearly passed out. And in the after collection aggression for Alyssa. That wow, that is. And this is Suburban Nights, right? Yeah. Four people were injured. That is wow. Wow. They had no idea. They were disappeared in the sauce. Holy shit. No one knew anything that was going on. It was a bunch. It was. Excuse me. It was a bunch of incompetence. taking essentially taking control over a bunch of other incompetents. And it turns out that when everyone is kind of incompetent, things just kind of go wrong. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. The weather was cold, and some people like Ben had pretty flimsy costumes, so the higher ups were worried about us. We had a meeting if they asked us if they wanted to make an improvised mockumentary and shoot it indoors. We unanimously voted to keep going. There was a sense of camaraderie there that was completely absent from To Boldly Flee. I mean, no one wants to switch their idea midway through. That's fucking stupid. If everyone was settled on this idea and they all brought costumes to wear and look dumb in that they didn't get paid to buy it or make for themselves, yeah, I would want to use the costume too. And you fucking traveled, so you might as well. I pwned? What am I saying anymore? I'm not even speaking English anymore. Let me drink more. How many pages? 10, you know? Okay, well, 5 of Lindsay's part, so. I point to the Bowling Flea as a tipping point between maybe a little change and this is never going to get better. Completely different experience reading the script versus Suburban Nights. This felt long, self-indulgent, sexist, and mean. Scenes were just quoting other movies. Scenes that were just quoting other movies felt were embarrassing. The excessive scenes with Zod and Terrell, yeah, were infuriating and ate up time that could have focused on the producers and not more of Doug's shtick. It's like Terrell. Who cares how you spell that shit? Who cares? It's true. I never received a To Boldly Flee DVD. Neither did many fans who bought them because they messed up orders and it was never fixed. The crossovers to recoup costs were not required, and during To Boldly Flee, things were so absurdly overscheduled they were too exhausted slash annoyed to make them. During a meeting, Michaud and Doug tried to guilt us into making crossovers to cover his costs as effects, failing us half of the effects team, so this was equivalent to asking him to pay himself. We made a stand and we made it and tell them no, eventually coming to an agreement that we can make 2 crossovers and keep one. I read the script of the cross I was planning with Brad. That's The scripts weren't given out until the 11th hour because Doug and Rob were fighting over it the whole time. We barely had time to read it, and most people didn't. We only had about a week to film of this 4-hour movie. Yeah, that's fair. And that's only because Holly begged him for an extra day. Holly, what a hero. Every day, Doug scheduled 2 days worth of work because he assumed having proper equipment slash crew made things go easier or go faster. No one was informed that Doug was killing off the nostalgia critic. Most of us found out only if we read the scripts. Todd and I found out earlier because Doug called us to ask if they should conclude the love triangle storyline we set up in our videos, and then mention it offhandedly. Doug asked if we can use the joke where Todd was stalking me in the movie, and his version of that was apparently me being a cold, heartless vacuum for turning down my stalker. I go on a date with him by the end. I do like cold, heartless vacuum. That's twisted. That's psychopathic. I like that, Doug. With like the smile, the twisted smile, those dark, beady little eyes. Hello, I'm the nostalgia critic, and you're a cold, heartless vacuum. Other than that, we were never asked for input on our movie scripts. There was a scene in the script that implies Mecha Kara is raping her off screen. Who's her? Nostalgia chick? I guess so. And she and Luz had to fight with them. Had to. All right, sure. Had to fight with them on set to say they wouldn't do it as scripted. It's still in the movie, but slightly different. Doug did not understand it came off as offensive. She tries running for the door, but rushes with lightning speed. But like car rushes lightning and closes in. He approaches her as she backs up against the wall. He holds his hand out, which now is a sharp device shooting out from his wrist. Resistance is comical. He approaches with the device, her eyes widen in fear. Uh, okay, film text. Film brain approaches the door, mug still in hand. Film brain, nostalgia chick, Linkara. There's a meeting downstairs. Loud, suggestive thuds beat through the walls. Power drill noises and squeaks ensue, punctuated by chick squeals and moans. Chick off screen, no, oh, ouch, ah, oh, no, don't put it in there, do not resist. Submit, submit. An embarrassed shock comes over Filmbrain's face. I'll just give you two a moment. He walks away with a shocked face. Chick, oh my god, your heart is metal. That's horrible, yeah. That's just cringe. It, you just don't do rape jokes. If someone says, "Hey, if you don't have to, don't," you just shouldn't. Because Megacar is fucking stupid. He's a worthless villain. The crew's assembled. Filmbrain returns horrified. Filmbrain. Wait, no second. You look as if you walked in people having sex. How would you know that? I'm French, we know. Well, like, no, critic. Well, are they coming? Boy, that's a loaded question. Critic. What? I mean, they're getting busy, keeping busy with extracurricular activities. Lindsay was also uncomfortable with the fight scene that she and I had. Wait, oh, this is Lupa. Am I sexist? I think somewhere midway through, I think it's Lauren Chen's fault. Lauren Chen made me think that that Lupa was Lindsay, and I don't know why. I guess it's because Lindsay's kind of his second, right? She's like his direct counterpart, so it feels like she should kind of be first, and she also has, I want to say, the biggest follower base, or at least had to this point. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm incorrect. But just mentally something switched. And like here, I was thinking like it'd be like a nostalgia check with working with Brad thing, and for some reason I just didn't put it together, right? And then like calling him Phelan is like, yeah, it seems like definitely like a Lupa thing, and I just didn't. It's the wine got to me, the sake got to me, and she pointed this out when we were on set. Doug had no idea what to do, so his response was just to make us do it. Much of the included lines with the age of viewers ending, and made it seem like we were retiring because Doug was, which really hurt all of our feelings. It seemed to be throwing us on the bus. We were always behind schedule. Doug and Rob would always stop the shoot for pointless arguments. For instance, there's a scene where Robo Todd and I are talking to the Nostalgia Critic. When we were alone with the shot, Todd went to take his costume off, which took a few people to do. When I'm sitting next to Jillian, I notice her shooting the other half of the scene with the camera pointed directly at where we were supposed to be standing. So we point that out to them. They start to argue for 10 minutes when there are only two options: get me and Todd back or change the camera angle. Jillian was there to keep them on schedule, and every time she brought the time, she'd be ignored. We were always way behind. They asked her to choreograph a complex lightsaber fight scene, which she did, but they ended up sending her to the hotel due to exhaustion and not using her fight. Oh, so she was they. Oh my! They didn't even use her choreography. That's just funny. Whenever something happened like bad continuity, Rob would just say, "Oh well, a plot hole." One day the camera crew had to go home early for personal reasons, so they told Doug early in the day that would be the case. He forgot to tell anyone, so at the end of the day we didn't have enough cars to take everyone back to the hotel slash diner, I guess. Phelan, Julian and I got left behind when everyone else went to Applebee's. Ed, who was a cameraman, worked credited as DP. He asked him not to, pointing out during a scene with Brad that they were breaking the 180 rule. Cue 10-minute argument. Ed furiously says that I want to look right or look wrong. He vows to never work with him again. They broke the 180-degree rule? How dare he? I learned that in film school. If you don't know what the rule is, it means that within a scene, you should typically never have it so that the camera switches degrees by 180 degrees, essentially, within a single cut. I want to say, like you can break the rule. It's film; it's really free to do things. But To Boldly Flee isn't exactly a highbrow avant-garde film with amazing cinematography, which is why he didn't want to be a DP. Because I would not want to be a DP either. On fucking To Boldly Flee, I would think he has no talent. Right, so by having a single scene where you have the shot changing angles in a single cut is not it's disorienting for the viewer and usually pointless unless the point of it is to be disoriented for the viewer. And there was a scene where a bunch of the cast passed out on top of each other on the floor, so they called a bunch of them into the basement of the film and kept them there even when they weren't shooting. Someone asked Ed if they're even on camera. He says no. They had Phelan's foot in one shot. What the fuck? What's wrong with these people? One day was an 18-hour shoot. The next day, after 3 hours of sleep, we were asked, well, you got 3 hours of sleep. I would have gotten 6 and I would have felt fine too. Actually, no way, they couldn't have gotten more than 3, huh? Yeah. Because they'd have to go back to the hotel, and then do their shit, and then probably on schedule. That is hellish. We were asked to film a big party, so 3 hours ideally. That's We were asked to film the big party scene. They asked us to film 2 different endings, despite being overscheduled and exhausted. Once that is over, they want to film a green screen with Phelan. Phelan points out he can film it at home, which would save them time that they don't have. After waiting forever, they say yes. We're driven to a hotel where we're to sleep, and our heads barely hit the pillow when my phone rings. They want Phelan to shoot the green screen part. He is the angriest I've ever seen him. We make it to the lobby, and Rob is waiting there to drive us back. We make it halfway down the road while explaining the situation before Rob makes an executive decision and to drive back to the hotel. They never asked him to film the green screen bit, and it's not in the film. Now I know this can never happen, but I would love if someone documented the whole thing. It'd be beautiful because you can just imagine the suffering, the pure suffering. It'd be like the opposite. You know what? I want like Doug vlogs of it because it'd be the inverse of Windy City Heat, and I have to fucking do Windy City Heat, but I don't want to because I already watched it and I love it so much. But since we're here, I'm gonna flex a little bit. I got on Instagram. I drew this picture of Perry Caravello. Stone Fury, who you might recognize from the hit show, not the Burn Machine, uh, Smiling Friends by Michael Cusack and Zachary Hadel, starring all your favorite internet celebrities. If you like Oni plays and Meat Canyon animation, style animation, and if you like Newgrounds people, you'll love Smiling Friends. Perry Caravello, by the way, is Simon S. Salty. Not Simon S. Salty. Show me the guy. There he is, but that's not him. Let's not show him, bitch. Get the guy. Get the guy. Get the guy. Show me the guy. Bitch. Alright, motherfucker. I'm gonna, well, yeah, it's him. Simon S. Salty. That's him. That's the guy. That's the guy. That's the guy from Windy City Heat. My name is Stone Fury. This is my town, Chi-Town, Chicago, the city of big shoulders. You see this guy on Twitter, this guy liked my post, so that's pretty fucking cool. Like real shit. I do like his streams, especially the Italian line. I'm Italian. Like, listen, Perry knows me. He knows me. He knows my name. So expect to see me on Perry Curvell live. You know what I mean? Shoutouts to Perry. Can I get a shout out to Perry real quick? There's no one in chat. There's no one in chat. But if you're at home, I want you to say shout out to Perry to yourself and just say, "Hey Perry, good job, man. Big up Sanctification for holding it down." That's what I want you to say. That's it. All right, that's my plug segment out the way. Yeah, that's it. I'm mentally trying to process how do I delete this. Yeah, okay. That's him.
My funny mascot friends.
My funny mascot friend. This was just full improv. He had like a teleprompter, like an old ass teleprompter too, because he can't use a new one, and he just went on. It's fucking great. How did I get here? Uh, yeah, I would imagine like Doug Vlogs as being like the inverse version of Windy City Heat, where Windy City Heat's its concept is that everybody else basically is more or less in on the joke, and they're trying to fool Perry into thinking this is his big break, and things are just going wrong for him. But it'd be like the inverse of that, where Doug and Rob and Mike are playing a prank on everybody else and making them fucking miserable and trying to get them to snap. And like they only had one camera because every other camera was like filming them from secret angles. That's what I want. That'd be fuck. I'm sorry, I'm drunk. You can't be mad at me. Speaking of being drunk, let me finish this point first before I lose my mind. 'Cause that's not as zoomed as I would want it. I don't think it might be. You know what? Looking at it on stream, it's kind of not. Let's let's let let's zoom in a little bit. This is why you have your own stream open in a separate tab, so you can read it a little bit better. Yeah, my apologies. Not a single person wasn't miserable, except Doug, who had no idea how badly it went. He thought this was just a grandiose send off that everyone was happy with, just completely in his own world. They had to have a private meeting to tell him the state of things. When shooting was done, we knew that this was the last anniversary movie. They weren't planning on having a wrap party. We had an unplanned one. Doug was late. He gives us personalized goodbye letters. They assumed Phelan would do the 3D effects of flying houses and such. Phelan pointed out to them that he's not a 3D animator. After the movie was done filming, they do a contest to find 3D animators. When Noah left the site, Phelan got the rest of his effects load. A separate team of effects was created in Chicago as well. They had little to no communication with Phelan. When Phelan finished an effect and sent it Doug, Doug responds with love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Later they asked, well, should they try to find out if Phelan was stealthily half-assing the effects because I guess they wanted more debris in the shot. Well, she just goes directly to Phelan and tells him what they said. Phelan's films are heard. All they had to do was tell him they wanted more debris instead of sneaking around. I do like the Spoonie incident. That's a terrible way. It's like killed himself. He might, but he's not. He's not yet. So you give him a chance. There's a lot of this left. Actually, that's pretty good. I'm gonna keep drinking until I get the desire to call someone an R slur, an F slur, a C slur. Use the word, the spectrum word. Y'all don't want to hear that spectrum word. I already know it. Uh, and I haven't called anyone a bitch yet. Like not like bitching like oh you're a bitch, but bitching like oh yeah, it's fucking bitch. Just like as referring to a female casually in a very derogatory term. I haven't done it yet, so I'm pretty good. I'll keep drinking until that happens, and then I'll drink more. And the slur, my voice will add to the slurs that I speak. A fucking baller bitch ass Fraga. Fraga. For the fifth year, they asked certain producers if they can make a short film to be included in an anthology with an internet theme. They offered no payment or resources at all, only ability to post their shorts on their own channel in exchange for giving them DVD rights. So basically, they were asking them to make a short film for free and also make money off of it. Phelan was asked and said no. And that is the Uncanny Valley, which is on Blip, which it can't use Blip anymore, and this website's defunct, I want to say. No, it's just a channel. Can
This
I
episode?
find the playlist? Oh, it's a little playlist, isn't it? Blah, blah, blah. Is it in the music video playlist? It might be. Let's try Uncanny. I hope it doesn't exist actually, because I don't want to do more stuff on Channel Awesome. Okay, there's one on this channel, so that's acceptable. I guess it's time to. I suppose that it is time. Oh, hey, Paranoia. That film didn't have color. But yeah, I suppose it's time to talk about more shit. So that's pretty cool. Gotta milk it for all I can. Listen, I got some episodes that I need to fill spaces for, so milking is for all I have. I'm gonna be the channel awesome guy. No, is that the Eagle Raptor? Oh, it is. It's skinny Aaron too, mostly skinny. It just has the chins. It's pretty good, man. No shitty pink hair that streak. Doesn't look good. I don't like it. It looks. Someone card. Someone card him. Did I fucking switch to like? What's the term for that? English? Someone carded him. Someone card. I said someone called him swarthy when they saw him at I want to say like some kind of Sega event. They called him swarthy. They said Aaron looks swarthy, and I was like, that is such a horrible thing to call somebody. Not because it used to mean like black or something. Because when someone calls you swarthy, they are like digging to the back of their head and pulling out the best word they can use to describe you and how gross you are. And they said swarthy. It's like calling a black person like a moon insect. You know the one. the one that makes the cricket noises. That one, right? That's I gotta appreciate the effort. Like I'm not even mad at that point. I'm like, fair enough. You got me. You pulled that one out. You had to work for that one. This is brought up to try and clarify some points of following channel awesome. Not to drag about old dirt. For the record, no one and I apologized a long time ago. After Noah posts some questionable stuff on Twitter, I call him out and this leads to a breakdown due to undiagnosed bipolar disorder. He lashes out at the fans and it gets nasty on both sides. I receive death threats to my house. Channel also suspends Noah. The meltdown continues, so they tell him that he either stops talking like that on Twitter or he must leave. He chooses to leave. People assume I got him fired. Noah supposes that isn't the case. Channel also says nothing. This leads to conspiracy woman decided to collect the site. CA wants to suspend me for posting about the incident, and specifically about context and rape jokes. I say nothing about CA and it broke none of their rules. Decided CA decides against it because Phelan's doing the offense to boldly flee, and they don't want to lose him. I receive written reprimand. A new page of rules is given to some producers, not all, which includes activity on social media. Alright then. Producer grievances. In 2013? This is written in 2018 when you leave by 2017? In 2013, everyone on the site is fed up with the terrible communication and broken promises, to the point of all coming together and giving the higher-ups a list of grievances. This leads to a series of calls where we were divided into groups to discuss our issues with them. Yeah, never let your employer split into groups. Not once. Never, not once. Do not let that happen. Don't let them jerk you around, because someone's gonna come out on top of that, and it won't be you, believe me. Unless you're a scumbag. I tell them that the way to boldly flee and mate was scripted made it sound like all of us were trying along with Doug, and the site should have been informed he was getting rid of the character since it affected all of us. Rob laughs it off by saying he was thinking of it only as a story. My point is never addressed. The Boldly Flee DVD was put up on the site store with a release date before Mike even contacted it to get them made. It was for a Project 7 trailer. I was there when he called him. I asked Mike why that was, and he responded that it takes 2 weeks to make DVDs. I point out they could get them done earlier than the release date, and that doesn't make sense. It involves into him shouting 2 weeks at me nonsensically. Now, I don't want to believe this because it sounds like this is what I'm talking about. Oh my fucking god. If I am ever not a broke boy, and I ever get into contact with I feel like if I rub enough elbows in the art scene, I suck enough dick, I eat enough pussy, lick a couple nipples, shave some armpits, I can call in some favors over time, 10 years from now. I really want to do like a mockumentary of everything happening here because holy fucking shit. There was fucking crystal powder on my monitor, so that was pretty cool. But everything in this sounds so not crystal meth. Fuck you. Sounds so fucking it sounds so funny. Just this call, I want every single point on this to be made in some kind of chronological order and just get them in scenes. Because the idea of him just saying 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, it sounds fake as fuck. But it could not be. Because you know what else sounds fake as fuck? The idea that all of these people stayed with this company at least 5 years later and they had this your boss was yelling 2 weeks at you for no reason. You were literally confused. He fucking hit you with a Sigma mail. Just yell at them until they leave. He out crazied you. He challenged you to a crazy off, and you could not even begin to fathom what he was doing. He fucking used like mind breaking tactics, confusion tactics, mind games in 2013 on you, and you stayed how long, brother, brother, motherfucker, sister? What did you think was gonna happen? So I don't believe that these people stayed with this company, but they did, obviously. So you know what? Maybe I do believe that Mike Ellis yelled 2 weeks just to mind game Lupa into giving up. One of the promises in their response to this list of grievances was to give us newsletters to update us on what was going on the site. They proceeded to do 2 by email and 1 on the internal site before giving up. One of the newsletters hilariously tries to tell us that the anniversaries have stopped because of the weather. Written by Monday. Feels good, man. Well, spring continues to pack a punch. April weather in Chicago was atrocious, with major flooding that affected every suburb, and even created problems for our CEO. Fortunately, we've recovered. However, it was yet another reminder that doing projects in April is just a bad idea. More on that to come. As a side note, we are downplaying the 5th year as an actual tie in to the CA anniversaries over the past years. After yet another weather disaster in April, which resulted in canceled flights to Chicago that nearly derailed us, the executives have decided that anniversary specials don't make any sense. It was an accident of timing that the site was born in April, an accident we no longer want to be beholden to. Obviously, filming these specials in winter isn't always feasible, and spring is also a nightmare in the Midwest. Instead, we will focus our group efforts to do anthologies with producers, but won't call them anniversary specials, since we won't be able to release them in later parts of the years. So for all intents and purposes, the 4th year was the last anniversary special. That is a fucking doozy. My headache, that is. It's not going away. But holy shit, that is beautiful. We just can't do it anytime during the year. And we don't want to have our anniversary be in the anniversary month. We want to have it be anytime we can do it ever. So we can put out more content. That is special. We all knew and respected that they stopped because they were expensive and exhausting. So it seemed nonsense to come up with such an outlandish lie. It also defeated the point of being more communicative by saying they weren't going to, and that if they weren't going to be truthful. They've never once attempted updating their internal site in 10 years. To this day, it's on an Icky Sports Joomla template. Bar Fiesta and Blistered Thumbs are still in scheduling dropdowns. Oh my goodness. And wow. They didn't turn stability off, so that the internal site comes from Google. I can still use my access info and get in because they never changed it. After years of asking to redesign that guy in the glasses into a better looking site, they decided to revamp it as Channel Awesome. This is partly because it's about a request to make things more about the community and less central to Doug. Excuse me. I know I muttered a whole fucking lot. Believe me, I understand. I can't speak. That's my major malfunction here, sir. I can't speak English. It's actually pretty cool. I imagine it's gone now. Yeah, it is. But at one point it was there. ChannelAwesomeFiles.com. I wonder if I can just do this. Probably not. Yeah, no, it's not there anymore. But someone could. Someone fucking could, and that's all that matters. They released it as a banner with the Doug and all his characters. and also a B from a 1 second joke from his Jurassic Park 3 video. We mentioned this is all about Doug again, and they say they'll switch the banner to different producers for days of the week, or for days of the week that they post. Lewis on Mondays, etc. You point out there's more producers than there are days of the week. None of this matters because we know they won't do it, and they don't. When Mike is looking for a site designer, the first people he asks are the ones who designed the White House page. The White House webpage, sorry. They quote him $50K, so he goes with a $100 template. One of our requests for ages was to have a page that listed who we were and what our videos were about, instead of a massive drop-down menu that just names the pages of links with no descriptions. This was promised but never delivered. They did ask us for show descriptions, which were lost at one point, and for us to make trailers for our shows. We did, but they were never posted. They set up an automatic scheduling system, which almost immediately breaks and it was never fixed. At this point, I stopped posting to the site for a month, and they never noticed. It took them 6 months to remove a cut off drop shadow from the banner. They brought on a massive amount of people when they set the new site, and it was a horrible time to do it because it flooded the front page every day with producers visitors were unfamiliar with. All of our views and comments instantly tanked. Fortunately, this was around when Blimp/Maker went away, and most of us switched to YouTube, where we were building our audiences. Shout to a talking cat and shut up and talk. Sometime in 2013/2014, I am barely making ends meet with the Blimp's ad revenue. This could have been Dark Side of Film. This could have been DSP. That's the real shit. Oh, I really fucking wish DSP stayed on Blip and worked Channel Awesome a little. Because I just wanted to see. I would love to see a D's. Oh my god, I'm literally nutting in my pants thinking about just if somehow nothing if nothing was the same, but everything was the same. I couldn't imagine what it would be like if if the AVGN cameo in To Boldly Flee was DSP. Oh my god. It was just Phil and he has it's I can find the article still. No porn, no porn, no porn. I mean it's 4chan there, but that's not my problem. Phil TV. Is it Kotaku? No, is it Kotaku? I think it is Kotaku actually. Show not fuck. Is it Phil.tv? Kotaku? It might be that. I don't want Phil Spencer. Okay, let's try. Wait, was that Phil? Was that the guy? It wasn't. Who did I see there? Okay, fuck. Not Dars. Not dark skin. Not dark skin Phil. Oh yeah, the DSP thing. With that's I think it's entirely different. Cancel culture comes for Dark Side Phil. Article. I just want to find it because remember that time he lied about somebody in an article. That was pretty cool. She just lied about someone entirely. Just shat on them for trying to explain why racist jokes are okay. It is Jason. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent here, but Schreier, is that his name? Schreier. Is this the link to it? This has to be some kind of sorcery. It isn't. Oh, so he links his Twitter still links his. Does DSP's Facebook link his tweets? Oh, it does. Huh. That's really fucking weird. Because it's so dead. He leaves so many things. And just leaves one in the fucking dirt behind him. I am having such a hard time trying to type this. I'm mentally breaking apart. Breakdown, fall apart. I really want to find this article. Hey, it's Neil Druckmann. Oh, Jason and Frank. Is this a... Hmm. There was someone that Phil straight up lied about, and I don't know who, but he lied about somebody. I don't even know who Jason Schreier is, honestly. Is it like Phil T? It's something. I know I can. It was fucking Polygon. That's why. Jeff Dunn. Is Jeff Dunn still? It's that image. I just. Is he alive still? Uh, just barely. Just barely. But yeah, I imagine like Phil. It's not. It's fuck AVGN. No, it's AVGN and Phil. And Phil shows up with that gun doing this, doing the gun hand pose. That's him. It's this guy. Because I can, but like somehow everything's changed, but nothing's changed. And like, it's just this really weird reality. This image. And the king of hate. Uh, uh, it's the king of hate, baby. Uh, I can just fucking imagine. Like, and he's just still complaining about. He'd be complaining about it years later because he fucking hates Respect the Patch for Project 7 and how that turned out. So can you imagine? Ugh. We were so close to pure fucking magnifique content. But no. Sometime in 2013, 2014, but going to Chicago to film a Talking Cat with Doug in his studio. Rob keeps interrupting to read off IMDb trivia for things you didn't know about Ghostbusters video. No one pays us the courtesy of signs when we're trying to film. Doug has to continually tell them to be quiet and act like they're not like we're not here, like we're not there. While I'm in Chicago, I filmed an episode of his talk show Shop and Talk, which was never released because I was gone before was edited together. They would sit on these interviews for months and months. Before filming, Doug offhandedly mentions one of the questions will be what I base my funny voice on. I tell him that it's based on nothing. It's just me. Okay, I thought she meant like just her voice was like Doug was saying your voice is just funny. You have a dumb voice. It wasn't that. When we begin filming, he again asked me what I base my voice on. I reiterate it's not based on anything. I'm just doofy sometimes. He makes fun of me for using the word doofy because he's never heard the word before and doesn't seem to believe when I say I'm not imitating somebody. The concept of comedy that is not directly ripping someone off is baffling to him. Holy shit. She makes him sound like he's on the difference between two color values or something. You know what I mean? That's fucked up. Outside of one or two, we do not go over questions ahead of the interview. In the middle of the goofy questions, he asked me what's the hardest thing I've ever been through, and how I got through it. It's very awkward. At the end of the interview, Doug and his guest will improvise something as the credits play. I can't do improv. I'm doing pretty bad. So Doug says you'll never make it in this business, and that's how it ends. That's how it ended. Michaud waits until everyone leaves and asks if I'm alone on the Shut Up and Talk set to corner me. Oh, and ask me why I have so many mid rolls on my video. I tell him to make enough money to live, as in that's in order to make enough money to live. He says my use of mid rolls and Phelan's use are causing people to put on ad block and affecting their revenue. The revenue was down because they killed off their flagship show and sunk a bunch of money into a useless game show. He tells me people were complaining in the comments, and he left me mean ones up as a hint to me. He left mean comments. He trolled her. Holy shit! Instead of telling me like the CEO of the company should. He also lies and tells me other producers were complaining to him, which the others have confirmed is not true. This is very hostile. It makes me uncomfortable and upset. I go to the bathroom to cry. Holy shit! Just got straight up bullied. After I pull myself together, the only person around is Doug, so I tell him what happened and how uncomfortable I was. He says to look into it. Shortly after, Mike and Doug call me on Skype to tell me they're limiting the number of mid-rolls we can use. I tell them I think they're overstepping their bounds. Doug says he disagrees. No mentions is ever made of Mike's aggressive actions in Chicago. Mike proceeds to give me tips on making more views, such as posting on specific days. Can't say that word, of course. That's how life works. I've been posting on Sundays for 3 years. I stopped doing a set schedule after that because I felt it didn't matter if no one noticed. He said I don't make enough videos, one a month. I was making 3 to 4 videos a month, including just completing a 2-hour retrospective. He didn't seem to think videos outside of my main show counted. I mean, they kind of don't. I never watched Doug's other shit because it's not interesting. And it's kind of short and kind of shitty and not main content. If you got a gimmick, stick to it. Doug tells me I should make my videos more like his TV show vlogs because that's just his work ethic. I nearly quit then and there. For at least a year. I was debating when and not if I'd leave the site. Getting the boot, Patreon comes along. A lot of folks are using it, and it seems like a great way to make money and not have all the mid-rolls that annoy people. I set one up and put a link on the internal site to be added underneath my latest video. It does not appear, and as usual, I have to contact them myself to find out what's up. I ask Mike why I wasn't there, and he tells me they won't link to crowdfunding campaigns or e-begging. I try to explain it as payment for a service, but he's already decided what it is. He eventually stops talking to me. Later on, he apologizes for not responding, which is the only thing he's ever apologized for. I would just leave. Like, it's definitely not worth it at this point. If Blip is gone, just use fucking Jesus. Rob messages me and tells me adding Patreon along with midrolls is a slap in the face for its fans. I ask about them promoting their Indiegogo, and Rob says this was executive authority. I also point to Mike J's NerdQuest campaign. I was pointing out Mike J's NerdQuest campaign was promoted. Sway makes a video weighing the pros and cons of Patreon, and they do not allow him to post it. After word gets out, people guilt them. They say we can do a bumper for Patreon on our videos. After I make one, they randomly tell us they have to be 30 seconds long. I posted my minute-long video anyway because they never watch the content and don't notice. Late 2014 or early 2015. Months later, I see they're posting links to Brad's Patreon. I post in the Skype chat asking when this was okay and why didn't they tell us, and bring up Rob slap in the face message. I ask for an apology, and Mike says I don't need to bring up what Rob said because they were still on the fence at that time. And I point out the issues I've mentioned in the bullets above. Things get heated, and Mike tells me we can discuss this in a private chat. This is a tactic he frequently uses so he can bully someone privately. So I told him no, based. Get him out of here. Mike messages me separately if I ask if I have time for a call. I tell him no because I'm very heated and don't want to talk in that state of mind. A couple of hours later, I am away from the computer filming, and he and Doug message me for a call. After 15 minutes, Mike tells me because I'm ignoring them, they're taking me off the site. That's pretty hot. And this is the quickest way they replicate anything. Screen caps the Skype text here. Phelan quits after that. Exit post. CA puts up a buried goodbye post, including exits of Kyle and Andrew for different but also common reasons, which begins by saying they would like to announce we're leaving. They misspell Phelan's name. That's the end of the 6 years and my 5 years there. Phelan Porteous. Not Proteus. Porteous. Owen Citizen's gone. Andrew Dickman. Andrew Dickman's the guy who I know specifically because he stole the does he do things anymore? I wanna say he doesn't actually. I wanna say he actually fucking doesn't. But I don't think he ever did anything actually ever. But I wanna say it's because I don't like this naked cow lady at her open mouth. But I know him because he stole his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend's Furiosi. That's what I recall it. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool cartoon. Animation success stories. The boobs. He does commissions. You mean to tell me? You mean to tell me that a guy who does commissions for furries that seem vaguely erotic in some way, shape, or form is popular? I don't quite believe that for a second, sir. Hold on a minute. I think you're pulling my hog. I think you're yanking my fucking hog, buddy. But maybe he's not yanking my. Okay, come on. Too much cleavage here. Too much fucking cleavage. I'm not. Now you notice my drinking strategy is basically this. Like it's like an inverse Steve Austin. Well, Steve Austin drinks beer by fucking. I drink it by getting a slim necked bottle and sucking the fuck out of it to the point where I'm basically just getting barely a gulp every single time. So it allows me to start like here in the bottle and get to like here, which is still kind of a lot, but whatever. Shut up, asshole. Is that it? Alright. I want to shit shower and shave, but also not shave. So I'm gonna get the Kalen Saucedo, my fucking favorite name. Fucking Sauce Walker ass name. But you know, before that, Let's run some Pokemon Showdown. You know what? I'm feeling it. I just want to run one. What shows up there? You know what? That's pretty good. That's nothing sussy there, actually. I can just search up a Showdown, though. So that's pretty cool. Let's just run a real quick Showdown. A real quick Showdown. Uh, Gumat. Listen, I'm a bit bored right now. I just want to run a real quick. I just want to. Shut up! It's so loud. I'm scared. Dark Psychic? Shit, that's not good. He's gonna annoy the fuck out of me, isn't he? You know what was this fucker? It missed? Can I mute? There. Thank you. I lost this one. I lost. I fucking lost. And there's the defense. Just let me hit Will-O-Wisp, please. Thank you. That's all I'm asking for. Well, I'm not gonna survive this next attack, so I might as well just go for it. Dark Psychic has... Yeah, fuck it. That's what I wanted anyway. I don't like Malamar. Malamar is toxic. Malamar is actually fucking toxic. He's gross. You better not switch, bitch. Bitch, you better stay in. I swear to God. That's what I thought. The fuck is that music volume, bro? What is a slider? That shit's broken. What is a slider? It's trash. It's garbage. Fuck you, Will-O-Wisp. I died. Oh, I die. Felt like I had a dark. Oh, I do. Wicked Blow is dark. But speed is higher, then it's kinda. Possibly, maybe? Probably. I want to say almost probably. So I'm gonna go for just hit him with a like a sword stance. We're gonna sword stance Stone Edge this dude. Fuck your spitter. Fuck your spitter. Fucking idiot. Oh yeah, Calm Mind. They tried to hit me with a Calm Mind Psychic. You couldn't do it. Y'all couldn't do it. Y'all ain't built like me. Y'all ain't built like me. Switch out. Switch out. Switch out. Switch out. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna switch out? He's scared of me. Switch out. Switch to a fire type. Do it. Exactly. I knew it. Then I'm gonna have to not have anything that can really kill this dude, but I'll try. Well, I lost, so I lost. So that's pretty cool. I fucking lost. Oh yeah, fire type nullifies ice. Yeah. Mm. I already quit. I lost this one. I can't win this one. I lied to even myself. I can win this. I have this in the fucking. I lost. I can't win this. Bitch. Bitch. We're gonna wing beat this fucker. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's not an OKO, idiot. But I am burned. And I can only take like 3 more of those, maybe? Yeah, around 3. So. It's outrage time, idiot. This fucking piece of shit. He's gonna roost. He's gonna fireball, I'm gonna burn, he's gonna roost again. Earthquake isn't gonna work. Because I don't even care anymore, man. Yeah, I don't even care, just kill me. I really thought he'd kill me, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I really thought he'd just kill me. If he changes to Toxicroak, which he probably will. Oh, he didn't. That's unexpected. But not entirely undesirable? No, it's entirely undesirable. He's slower than I am, which means that Dynamaxing would let me do Max Lightning, which should be an OKO, ideally. Not exactly an OKO, but you know what I mean. Speed higher than mine? It probably is. I lost. You fucking pansy. Fuck you. Fuck out of my sight. Toxicroak is slower by just a bit, so I can at least get a cheap shot in. Oh, Melmetal. Well, definitely slower. And OKO. Kyurem White. Well, how does Kyurem White do against Bolt Strike? Because between Bolt Strike and Fire Blade and Blue Flare right now, I'd rather Paralyze if I can. Oh. Ice type though, which means fighting worse against them. Toxicroak is just a gamble, so I'm gonna bulk up. This Paralyze check works out for me. Oh, I won? I won. Oh. Draco Meteor Oko. Draco Meteor Oko. After bulk up. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's cool. No, that's cool. Yeah. Of course, Draco Meteor Oko after bulk up. And reduce. I don't even know. I think Draco Meteor is probably special attack. But even then, he had reduced special attack. So that's pretty cool. I guess Urshifu's special defense is pretty fucking low. I don't know. I don't check these things. I'm an asshole. I'm a bad man. So we're gonna need Kalen Saucewalk as fucking post / Mars girl. This series of events covers my participation with Channel Awesome from joining in the September of 2008 to my voluntary leaving in September of 2017. Certainly, other minor irritations and moments of hurt feelings have come up besides what is listed in these bullet points. However, to list those would likely be too many and too petty for this document. These are the biggest problems I ran into directly in my 9 years with Channel Awesome. I can't speak. I've lost my mind. This is September of 2008. I participated in the Nostalgia contest. A contest meant to pick a female critic to discuss topics that Nostalgia Critic were not based on the media that was meant to be directed at women. and thus Doug Walker would not review. While I was not chosen for the first place winner of this contest, I was contacted in a Skype call along with Doug and Rob Walker, as well as Mike Michaud, and notified that I, along with Chrissy Diggs, that chick with the goggles, who I don't know what she's doing right now, probably nothing, was chosen as a runner-up and would be allowed to contribute content to the site. I was one of the earliest contributors to the site, and thus I was one of the ones who was asked directly to transfer my video files into the hands of Mike Michaud, who would then upload my video to their web channel. For the first short while, my videos were not being hosted on any channel I had any control of. This is so that they can receive advertising revenue from my video, and I was told they'd pay me out for the money I earned in my videos. This never happened. After Louis Linkar was added to as a contributor to the site, he suggested that I start my own Blip channel, as he was already using one for himself. I did just that and opened a Blip channel of my own. When my next video was ready, rather than handing my video over directly, I told him to show that I had direct link to my video already uploaded on Blip. This made him furious, and he angrily scolded me for creating my own Blip channel without express permission from him or any other channel awesome executive. Only after apologizing profusely for not understanding that I was not allowed to do this, and that I did because Linkara was doing it, did he finally back off. And from this point forward, I began to contributing my videos for my own upload links. I was never paid for any of my early contributions. This one right here, this thing right here just is so indicative of terrible fucking management. And part of me wants to say, like, it's ignorance of your position in the company as a content creator, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt of that being in September 2008. That's why I'm going to like at the latest 2009, which was like making money off of videos on the internet was still kind of a new thing. I want to say, like, probably pretty fucking new. So the idea that you can't just do things on the internet, like you're treated like a protected name, it's pretty intense, I want to say. And that's one thing I will attest that making mistakes like not telling your boss that you're uploading videos or that you want to do this thing is pretty intense when you consider the fact as well that it really was Linkara saying, "Hey, I do this already. It should be fine for you." It seems like it's just bad management because you don't have rules set out for these. You don't have rules saying you can't have your own channel. You just say that you're supposed to upload it to your own shit or to our shit, which is if someone else is doing it, it's fine. There's no reason as to why you can't do it, obviously, because you didn't give any tiering to what rights we'll have as content creators. The blind leading the blind, the deaf leading the deaf, and the fucking stupid leading the stupid. That was real mean. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Mike Michaud was just fucking stupid. The mistitling of videos on my earliest series was called Animation, a children's medium? Its intended purpose was to question whether or not animation was truly meant just for children, as is often perceived, or if it also had a commonly had a specific adult audience. I described this video to Mike Michaud as being something like a history of animation, but didn't intend for it to be called such. I just gave that description so he had a clear understanding in a brief amount of words as to what the project was. When the video was embedded into the site, it had been totally and completely mislabeled as the history of animation. When the title of my video came up at the beginning of the video and was not called this, so I knew that Michaud had not, in fact, watched my video. This led to many viewers being misled by the title and were angry directly at me for making a terrible video about a history of animation when that's not truly what the video was. When the subject came up in the that got the glasses forums, I explained to people questioning that there had been miscommunication with Michaud about what the video was supposed to be, and I'd make sure he understood what it was next time. This led to Michaud reaching out to me on Skype to once again completely lose his patience at me and text shout at me something about making him look bad and or incompetent when it wasn't his fault. This is my fucking favorite one too. Being 22 at the time and not knowing how to handle such a situation when I was so happy to have made an addition to the team, I buckled and apologized profusely, saying this was another misunderstanding and that it meant that I was the one who had communicated badly and that I wouldn't let it happen again. I went further and said that since I kept messing up in his eyes, maybe I wasn't a truly the right choice for a contributor to that guy with the glasses. Only after making myself look a fool to him did he back off and leave the topic be. I have since wondered if he was just satisfied that he had successfully made me feel ashamed. Now, to be quite honest, I don't. I mean, 22 is pretty fucking old. You know? I don't. Maybe it's just one of those things where, like, as someone like me, because I don't want to age dogs, but I guess I will. I'm I'm around 22, bit younger. I could be a bit older, who knows? But I'm around that age, that college age, that university age, that post-secondary education age. And clearly I can see this is an issue with management and communication and understanding. Right, like I had a situation where I handed in an assignment and very clearly that shit wasn't handled properly because I handed in one assignment first on the due date and the other one way after the due date. But for some reason my professor decided to mark the first one. Now to that point I want to say that he checked the proper one, I assume, because my grades didn't look like I fucking flopped a midterm, right? They looked pretty okay. But to have that happen and just have him look at it when there is one that's titled pretty clearly and handed in on the due date, and another one that's handed in way after, and is clearly a totally different file, and have him just ignore the proper file, it tells me that they're autopiloting this shit. I didn't say that to him, but I made it pretty clear that he marked the wrong one. What I'm saying is that I guess being 22 on the internet in a content creator sphere is a whole lot different in 2000 what 2008? What year was this? What year was this? Let's say 2009. In 2009 is entirely different than 2022. Hey, 22 at the time in 2022. Yeah. Well, no. But yeah, it's one of those things where there's certain things that I guess I understand from not the shoulders of giants necessarily, but the fallen backs of giants that I climb upon as mountains. I can see from their shoulder blades what they could not see themselves from their high place. That's probably how I'd say it. The perceived rivalry with Screw Attack. Mike Michaud was frequently uncomfortable with the knowledge that after that for a brief while, I was on decent communication terms with a select few members of Screw Attack, and I would sometimes write in their blog sections and post in their forums. He would reach out to me on Skype and tell me he was not comfortable with my communications and I would rather I stopped interacting with them altogether. He told me that he perceived Screw Attack to be that guy with the glasses' direct rivals, and he was concerned that Screw Attack would steal me away as a contributor. I assured him that this was not going to happen. I did not consider myself to be a video game content creator, and I was satisfied being attached to Channel Awesome. Whether satisfied Mike for a brief while, I did not understand his concerns, especially since Doug Walker, the nostalgia critic, had brought a significant viewership by participating in crossovers with James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd, whose intellectual property at that time was under legal ownership by Screw Attack. Partnership and interaction seemed to be working out well for them, and I was upset Mike addressed me with such vitriol during the situation. In 2009, Screw Attack held their first Screw Attack game convention in Dallas, Texas. I was excited about attending because prior to that, I'm T-posing, sorry. Because prior to that, there was no video game events within Texas where I lived at the time. Michelle once again addressed me and suggested that it would be a bad idea for me to attend. I had to reassure him once more that I would not be trading my channel awesome loyalty just because I wanted to attend a video game convention. Just full T-pose. In 2010, I participated in the next Screw Attack Game convention as a general staff member, typically as a stand next to doors and check members for their badges. This year, Noah Antweiler, Spoonie, was a guest at the convention. I told him that Michaud had a previous history of being upset with me for communicating with Screw Attack. This was also which was when he told me that he was also hearing Michaud's upset tone with him for agreeing to be a guest at SGC. I'm really trying to get through this. My lips are parched. I'm tired. It's 4 a.m. I want a shower. I'm not even halfway through this fucking shit. All these interactions with Mike Michaud made me very nervous about doing something wrong, and it felt like there was always a target on my back, or that someone was looking for a reason to drop me as a contributor from the site. Rather than having to put up with the anxiety of being told I did something wrong when I had no idea what I was doing wrong, I began to largely pull away from not only from communicating with Mike Michaud, but with anyone on the site at all. I kept to myself for the next several years, did not want to participate in anyone else's drama, and just continued releasing my videos on my own as best as I could. You know, I remember this exact passage because I saw the word gun shy, and I was like, "What the fuck is gushy?" Wait, no, there's an N there. Ganushi? And the reason why is because I remember I watched the Frederick Knudsen video on this when he read that and it was like gunshi. He just didn't understand the word until he just looked at it again from a different angle. I remember that exact stream, and it was a very funny moment when he said gunshi and then questioned it. His mental reading didn't go far enough. But this is again me standing on the shoulders of giants. They're not falling now. This one's still standing. But I remember that moment, and I can very easily say, "Hey, the word gun shy," because my interaction with Michaud also made me very gushy. Sounds pretty sus. Very gun shy. But participating in Skype or being available on Skype in any capacity, I feared logging on and seeing some new angry message from Michaud. I would sometimes not log into Skype for months at a time. This would begin to cause communication problems when site management would decide that rather than give us promised communication through either monthly emails or through our internal scheduling site, they would instead pull contributors into one large Skype chat room and use the chat room to deliver important messages to us. I would often miss large, seemingly important notifications due to this, and despite them having multiple email addresses of mine and my phone number, they never utilized it. Making costumes for anniversary films. Many of us were expected to make our own costumes for the films, myself included. In most instances, we were not paid for the creation of these costumes if we were deemed capable of making/bringing them with us. Before the filming of Boldly to Boldly Flee, I was initially asked to make a costume of Leela from Futurama. Luckily, I did not make it far in the construction of this costume because I received an email from Doug saying I need to make a costume of Mage Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, and a very specific outfit of hers. There was only a couple of weeks left before shooting the movie, and I had to make some expensive and fast purchases to throw together in time. We were told that if we made our costumes ourselves during To Boldly Flee, they didn't get paid. They would pay us for the construction of the costume if we met two contributions. One, we had to provide receipts used of materials used to make the costume, and two, we had to turn our costumes over to Channel Awesome. I was frustrated with this idea because I wanted to keep the Matrix Nagi costume for myself. It meant taking a huge financial loss, but I was not happy that I would have to hand over a costume that I had to both make and wear myself. On one hand, I would say that's kind of fucking stupid if it's a huge financial loss. Unless they were told, like, far too late, which I would believe that. But if it's, like, actually like, that big of a deal for you, I would just say give it up. But at the same time, why the fuck do you need the costumes? So they can't use it anywhere else? I don't know. I think Michonne's gonna be smelling that crotch. Like, I don't want to say it. Michonne and Mike, they're gonna be together in a dark room. I saw that Major Kusanagi costume. That shit was tight. That shit was a bodysuit. I really feel like one of those fellas was in the dressing room. They didn't have a dressing room. Had the costume like in a suitcase all tangled up, unwashed. He is not letting you wash that shit. And he's sniffing that with his buddies angrily, furiously, destructively masturbating. That is horrible. That is a horrible thought. But I can very easily imagine it. Man, I am suffering from psychosis right now. Wine drunkenness is not a joke, guys. Do not get into this state. I'm so mellowed out that I just said that. That's the clearest thing I've said all fucking day. As mentioned elsewhere, the death of the nostalgia critic and the ending of his character and review series was written into the script to boldly flee. Many people did not know that this was going to be happening until they read the script. Many others did not understand until filming got underway, and from my discussions with other content creators, many others did not understand until filming got underway. And from my discussion with other content creators, no one had a clear idea of what they were supposed to do with their content creation once this was loaded into Channel Awesome, and the rest of the internet found out Doug was making this decision. I can't read anymore. My brain is not working. It's fucking fried. Let's go. After we had finished filming during the week of the Boldly Flee, the wrap party was held at a pub nearby the hotel we had been lodged at. We paid for our own meals. At the party, Doug Walker handed out individually addressed letters to each member of the cast that was there, which seemed a nice enough gesture. But the finality of the letters indicated that Doug did not intend to continue to create anniversary videos, nor did he intend to utilize us again. It's so weird because it's only like certain like sentences or certain like phrases, but I'll like reread them 5 times and I have to actually stop because it's like a fucking disc skipping. I gotta pause it and rewind it and try again. It was obvious that we were considered obsolete to him at this point, and that perhaps we were just expected to go on our own lives without him, not considering the consequences for everyone else, or for everyone, for what he was about to do. During the filming of To Boldly Flee, several contributors were called down during a specific scene where the entire cast was expected to be knocked out, having fallen asleep on the floor. They called down nearly the entire cast by name except for me. Feels bad, man. Later on, they needed us all back for the scene in which we woke up, and this time they included me. I informed Rob Walker that this was going to look strange because I was not in the initial scene, where they filmed everyone falling asleep. Rob responded to this by saying, oh well, plot hole, then proceeded to laugh it off. I laughed with him at the time, but truth be told, I was saddened by this. This scene can be in the final cut to Boldly. I am not there when they fall asleep, I'm there when I wake up. More mislabeled videos and not hitting social media. Our internal website is where we would schedule our video content. I would schedule my videos there, much like everyone else, and leave notes with the name of the video, the link to my title card, the link to the video itself, and the description of my video, and my extra contact information, phone number, and Skype username. I would often leave extra notes if there's anything important I need the person doing the scheduling to know. These notes were never read, always ignored. For example, I would have a request review because I take requests from my Patreon support, my Patreon contributors as a reward tier for them. So the title of the review might be Request Review: The Transformers Movie, or Request Review: Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. Yeah, but these reviews would never be called this. Instead, they'd be called Mars Go: The Transformers the Movie. Okay, yeah. I repeatedly left notes for the schedulers to correct these titles, or please remember to properly title my videos on the website. They refused to do this properly. Without fail, the names of my videos were always wrong on channelawesome.com. This must have been some kind of money laundering operation. Mike Michaud was that I do believe that. These dudes were like fucking mafiosos. That's why that's why they're so crazy. They were just it's just the cocaine hitting, bro. They were like in the 80s somehow. They got back to the 80s and they were just living through like a time portal. It's like Bungo Stray Dogs somehow in some weird way. Usually when a video is posted, it is also cross-posted across various social media platforms, specifically on Twitter and Facebook. Frequently, I would wait for channelawesome.com to update so that I can then retweet their tweet about my video, or share their Facebook post about my video to my personal and public Facebook pages. Frequently, but not always, but frequently, my videos will not show up in the social media feeds along with the other posts of that day. This happens slightly less frequently on Facebook, on Twitter, but more frequently on Facebook. It felt like management was commonly attempting to make me feel invisible, to make me want to quit my own accord, rather than to be fired and make a big deal out of it. That would get them into hot water publicly. I intend to finish this soon, like within the week. Though it is Friday. I mean, ideally tomorrow, or I guess later today, tomorrow morning, tomorrow 1 a.m. Ideally, but you know how it works. And sometimes it doesn't work out. That's how life goes sometimes, right? Yeah, I agree. You're right. I agree. I am right. I do agree with myself. You're right. I am right, me. Yeah, I'm a smart guy, aren't I? Yeah, I am. As an aside to all of this, there was a weekly producer spotlight that's meant to feature a new producer on the front page every week. I was never featured, nor was I on the schedule at all in the first place. God damn. They really just fucking gave her the dagger to the belly, left her there to die in a pool of her own blood and detritus. And she died. She died in real life, dude. She died right here, and that's where she died writing this. Actually, this was like her last effort. It's like I need another anime reference. Dying wish, leaving a message. I got nothing. Film reference? I don't watch movies. TV reference? I don't watch TV. I don't watch anime. It's just manga references. Damn. Dippity doo dah damn. Leaving Channel Awesome. I'd been considering my ex from Channel Awesome for many years, but only stayed as long as I did because I had a manager outside of Channel Awesome who, for some time, who scheduled my convention appearances for me. This manager suggested he understood how bad Channel Awesome was, but if I wanted to keep getting con appearances, he needed me to stay because still being associated with Channel Awesome as a brand and Doug Walker as a nostalgia critic was good for me to continue to get work. He told me to consider waiting until I got 10,000 YouTube subscribers, and only then consider getting on my own. I initially agreed with my manager, but then decided that I would also add the idea of waiting till my 10-year anniversary and leaving then, depending on which one of these things happened first. Eventually, I decided I just couldn't wait any longer, and left on my 9-year anniversary with Channel Awesome in September of 2017. I could no longer idly stand by and watch others than myself be affected by their poor management and direct abuse to many of my friends. I left a farewell song in the Channel Awesome group chat, and then removed myself from the conversation. I ain't gonna take it no. Wait, hold on. No, I can play the song. I can play the first second of the song. Can I? Hold on. Can I get the whole version? I want the intro to it because there's like a thing for it. One of them is it's this one. It's this one. Hold on. She was like this. Yeah, this was her. Yeah.
I ain't gonna take it no more.
Uh huh.
I ain't gonna stand idly by while the bridal reply of a marriage of styles is, yeah, but what's their demographic?
That's what she said. She can no longer stand idly by. Well, she ain't gonna take it no more. All the references. These fucking shit references. These British assholes. It's a good song though.
Really what we come to expect. Beat them hearts when we first met. Now
Yeah, it's a pretty good song. It's kind of goofy, but it's alright. Very spoken word. Within a single hour of my removing myself from the group chat, all of my content had been removed from the site. Unlike previous contributors who received pleasant farewell messages from the administrators, no such farewell message was delivered to me. A contributor who had been there longer than 90% of their team, and who had been in every single anniversary movie. This saw others who were treated who were either as long as me or a little longer than me, such as Linkara and Suede. Yeah, Holly Brown. I think Holly Brown is the base god here, which is why I want to start off on a good note with Holly Brown next stream, where I drink less, perhaps. I mean, it's only like tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, or the day after the day after tomorrow. It's a good amount. I can finish. I can't drink that much casually for no reason. I need a reason to drink this liquid, and Holly Brown is my reason. All right. Well, for now, I'm the guy, the dude, and the lad, and the fella, and the frogger, and the man with the plan, man with the hand family, man who kicked the can. Zentification on Twitch, Scum God on YouTube. Signing off, saying adios, adieu, et au revoir.